Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's episode 152 and today we are starting things off apparently next to False Symmetry's face. That's just floating out here in the ocean, that's for our map. But also we are flying by the flight course that we built in the previous episode of Hermitcraft. Now this so far has been a really fun project to work on, but right now, as you can see, it's kind of... Well, I think it's safe to say that it's horrendously ugly. I think it's safe to say that this is a real mess. We've basically made a big mess in the gaming district. So in today's episode, what I'm going to do is clean up this place. I'm going to make the rings a little bit more attractive. I'm going to try my best to improve this entire area so it looks really, really cool and so it actually looks like a finished game. But before I start, I just want to mention something very important that I'm sure all of you have already noticed, which is the fact that my video schedule is going to be changing over the next couple of weeks because I'm going to the Philippines. I'm off to the Philippines, I'm off to Cebu Island, and I'm going to be there for the next 2 weeks. I'm leaving on May the 15th, and that means that my video schedule is going to be changing ever so slightly. So we're going to be losing a couple of videos a week. So we're going to be doing Redstone on Tuesday, Hermitcraft on Thursday, Redstone on Saturday, Hermitcraft on Sunday. So that's going to be the schedule from this point forth up till about May the 30th, I do believe. I hope that sounds okay. Anyway, back to building. First thing that I want to do is, well, I actually want to try and work out if this is going to look any good. So if I place this and this, if I grab these two different types of blocks, what I'm thinking is that I want to have some form of structure holding up these rings. And I was thinking I would almost extend up what we have going on the floor. And you know what? That could end up looking pretty cool. So up at the top here, we'll have the rings, which I think are going to be made out of black concrete, and then also this stuff, so either blue or orange concrete. I think that's the way that I want to do it. And then, yeah, they'll be held up by that. We'll have to wait and see. First off, I think I should actually decorate all the rings. That's probably a good place to start. Whoa, the squid farm has been killing it. Look at this. And where's all that coming from? Ah, does this... So when you have this closed, does that lock all the hoppers? Oh, I'm such a moron. Yeah, I don't know if I like that so much. I don't think that looks very good. Ooh, or does it? It looks kind of like Tron. It looks like something from Tron. Okay, maybe I do like that. We are going to need a lot more black concrete, though. I don't know what I prefer. I feel like I prefer this. Yeah, I feel like I prefer that going on. I might even prefer... Let me just try out stone slabs around the outside. It is a very stone slabby build, though. No, you know what? I think I'm going to stick with the black concrete, but the sea lanterns on the inside. Yeah. Yep, 100%. Now that that one's built behind it, it's so much better. It looks so much better. If I had used stone slabs and things like that, it probably wouldn't be that obvious where the hoops are, but these are very bold, very bright. You can see exactly where they're going. So I guess, yeah, up like that, and then we're going to have to do the two in the ground and make them wrap around like this. And then we need to do the tubes. There's two tubes. There's a tube there and a tube that goes across there as well. Alright, we need to work out how we're going to do that too. Can I just say, I'm quite impressed that since I've built the spoon counter, I've actually only had 3 spoon moments on the Hermitcraft server. Can you imagine if we spent all that time building this thing, and then I never actually have to use it? I mean, that in a way, that's kind of a spoon moment in itself. It's like one of those paradoxes that cancels itself out. I think I spoke a little bit too soon on that one, because I have been back and forth to my base probably about 5 or 6 times over the past half an hour because I keep forgetting things. I just keep forgetting to pick up certain resources that I need. You know, these things are really difficult to build in the dark. I was stood back here and I couldn't actually remember if I'd built the back of this thing. Oh, that could actually be a problem. Thankfully, because we've used the sea lanterns, it's kind of slightly more obvious where they are. And obviously, once we get the support structures in, that will make life easier. But look, you can't even see. You cannot see that there are black blocks there. I would say we're around about halfway done on this thing. So we've got all of those ones done. We've got all of these ones. And we have this one right here all done. And I just thought it would be a good idea to take a look at what this thing looks like from maybe over here. So this is where we're probably going to be viewing it from. and it looks good. Okay, that's a big improvement over what we had going on the other day with all this horrible stuff going on. Okay, that's perfect. I'm happy about that. Right, let's continue work. There we go. All done and dusted. We have now got all of the rings, and I've removed all of the scaffolding as well, which means that we can now fly through this thing as if we were actually doing the course, which clearly I am not very good at. I'm so bad at my own course. Wow. Okay, we'll have to do some practice runs at the end of this episode once it's all finished. I also think that your tip down in the comment section, a lot of people were saying use flight duration 1. That's definitely the way to go, because I'm just not able to make any tight turns once I fire one of these rockets. Anyway, we now need to do all the structural things, so what I'll do now is I'll quickly plan out all of the support beams, and then we can place in all of the colored stuff in the middle. Whoa! 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 Seraph! You can't just be leaving ghosts being able to spawn in areas like this, man! Holy mackerel. Anyway, despite that slightly scary situation, these support structures are actually a little bit bigger than I was expecting, so we've had to pop down underground once again to gather up some stone. You would think by episode 152 I would actually have decent quantities of this stuff. So that's all done. It kind of looks a little bit strange at this point in time, but trust me, I've got some plans to make this entire place look cooler. For now though, I'm going to actually pop off and do a quick third-person time-lapse of me filling in all of these areas. I don't know how long this is going to take. So in today's super fast time-lapse chat, I just want to update you on a couple of things. So number one is that new film is just released on the filming channel. You know I can't help myself, but yeah, a new one's just released. It's quite interesting. I put a lot of time and effort into it, and I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you're interested in cinematography and cameras and that sort of thing. So I'll put a link to that one down in the description, but also I just want to update you on the camper van project, because as I mentioned in a recent Hermitcraft episode, I'm in the process of restoring my 1974 VW T2 bay window camper van, which is its full length name if you want to Google it to see what it looks like. Obviously I've got loads of pictures on Instagram and Twitter and everything like that as well. But things are going incredibly well. We've reupholstered all of the seats, so that's all done, or we've reupholstered all of the back seats. The actual front where I'm driving, that's not being touched yet, just because I'm actually waiting on some things to arrive before I start work on that one. But all of the seats have been reupholstered in the back, so the bed's done, everything like that is done, all the benches are done. We've used all of the reclaimed pallet wood around the bottom of the benches, and it looks amazing. Now that it's all sanded down, it looks so much better than I was expecting. The coffee sacks are on the door cards, they look fantastic. And our rug, we finally found something to use for the flooring. That's now in place, and that has transformed the entire thing, because originally it was like a blue lino, and now that we have this kind of woven rug in the middle there, it literally looks like a beach hut. It is the ultimate beach vehicle. I cannot wait to take it down to Cornwall and go surfing in it. It's honestly, it's filled me with so much happiness. But anyway, I just thought I'd give you that update. Let's pop back onto the Hermitcraft server. Thankfully, that wasn't that tricky. It didn't really take too long. So now all of that is all in place, and it is all looking considerably better. This is now actually looking like a flight course, and I have been trying my best to do a little bit of practice as to what I'm going to do on this thing. And I have to say, I'm getting better at certain elements. I don't want to die. Whew. I am getting better at certain elements. I think once you learn how to do this thing, and you sort of learn like the wrist movements that you need to make with your hands, things improve much quicker. But that right there is now super difficult. So that's going to be interesting. Going to have to do more practice on that one. But anyway, now it's time to do some landscaping around the outside of this thing. I've got a pretty cool idea of how I'm going to do it. What I thought I'd do is build up a kind of landscape around this thing. So I don't really know what that's going to involve, if it's going to involve trees or not, or anything like that. But I thought we would place in a whole bunch of grass and basically make this look like it's been placed on top of an island. Now that could be it could be a little bit tricky to do. I mean, do I want grass kind of growing onto this? So we have certain areas that expand out further and maybe pop up a couple blocks. It could be really tricky. In fact, now that I'm actually starting work on it, I think it is going to be really, really tricky. But what we'll do is we'll do some testers and we'll see how it all comes together. Just as it's beginning to get dark, I think I might quickly take off and take a look at this thing. Now, I'm going to try my best to do a nice slow fly past so that we can take in all of the details. And yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. I'll quickly land so we can see this thing from above. Yeah, it looks cool. I think we just need to expand out certain areas and maybe build up some trees. I think trees might actually be the way to go. And then some bone meal, and once we get the grass in, and maybe even some sand, as if it's like on a beach. That could be the way to go. Still, that's positive. Is it looking good? I mean, I feel like it's looking good. I feel like it needs a little bit more finesse on our little grass structures there, but I don't know, I'm starting to doubt myself a little bit here. Maybe once it all turns into grass, I think that's definitely going to help out. Right, I would say I'm around about halfway done on this thing. I was just picking up a little bit more resources, and this is what it's looking like so far. I'm going to try my best to land on one of these things. Let's take a look at it from up here. I mean, it looks... Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Definitely needs some work, though. We need to... I don't know. Maybe trees? I think trees might be the way to go. Plants, and then adding... Yeah, definitely adding the dirt around underneath. That definitely helps as well to make it look more solid instead of just looking like dirt in the water. I think that might be the way to go on this one. Now that I actually have the blocks for the tube in place, it is looking considerably better. So I'm going to pop back to my base. We need to pick up some glass to actually create those tubes because we have 2 of them in the course, and then that should hopefully improve things. So I've just looked. There's actually a map of this area here, and I thought it would be a good idea to give it a quick refresh of my game. And that looks considerably cooler now that I've done that. So I'll show you what it looked like before, because I was looking at it and I was like, oh my word, I've ruined the map of the town because my game looked absolutely awful and I hadn't realized it hadn't refreshed. So there it was before, and there it is now. Yeah, that is... I was bricking it. Anyway, aside from all that, we are currently out of glass. We're going to need tons of glass so that we can do all of the tubes and the chambers and everything like that. So I'm just out on this little island near TNT land picking up some sand. And now it is being put into my ridiculous super smelter. Hopefully that's going to be enough, but you know what? I don't actually think it is. Anyway, we are now back over here. I've placed in all of the glass in both of our chambers here, so that's all done. And now I'm just in the process of wrapping up the dirt placement. Finally, this has been quite a long process and we have used stacks upon stacks of dirt and grass, but this should be the final little section just wrapping around like this on the outside here, and that will be all of the grass completed. And now that it's all done, it's looking considerably better. I'm really happy with this. Let's try our best to get like a proper aerial view here without flying off into the distance. Yeah, okay, that looks fantastic. Awesome. Okay, it's looking more like a finished product now. So I'm going to start adding in, I guess we just need a little bit more texture, and oh, I actually need to place in all of the dirt going around the inside of these things like I've done over here, because otherwise it looks a little bit strange. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier on, the next thing that I want to do is, well, so that little section there, that blue spot there, that's going to be our finish line. So we're going to fill that in with white and black, which I have a little bit of here, but also I think what I'm going to do now is bone meal. I think bone mealing and adding in long grass and things like that could really help the way this looks, but I also want to fit it in with the style of what we have going on around here. And I seem to remember when I was up here, yeah, so this area looks lovely. This is what I want it to look like. So have some long grass, maybe some leaf blocks. I'll go and grab some leaves as well, and we'll kind of overgrow this entire space. And that has improved things massively. I haven't done all of it just yet because I've completely run out of bone meal, but the way that this place looks now that we've actually started adding in some extra plants and things is, yeah, it looks considerably cooler. I just wish that all of it was this bright green color. We get the occasional spots of this, which means that we are in, yeah, an ocean biome, and that means that the grass goes this horrible color, whereas it is bright green over here. Oh well, there's nothing that we can do about that. This is still looking really good. I'm just waiting on the final bits of grass to spread. There's just a few areas of very stubborn dirt that seem to be popping up around here. But at this point in time, yeah, that bone meal has made all the difference for this place. It's made all the difference. I was getting a little bit worried that I'd created something horrendously ugly. I think actually while I wait for this, I'm going to grab some leaf blocks from my base and maybe start chucking them around a little bit. And maybe even some cobblestone, maybe some little ruins and things. Yeah, try and take some inspiration from Iskall or something. That's now been completed. We have got some Iskall related things going on. You can see some leaves and some cobblestone dotted around. I'm now also in the process of lighting up all of the areas of this place because a lot of it isn't actually in the mushroom biome, which means that mobs are spawning on it. And because no mobs are spawning on that mushroom island over there, that means a lot of mobs are spawning on this thing. So it gets quite dangerous in the night, and we don't want any TNT or creeper explosions, I should say. So let's just quickly cover this before the sun goes down. And then I think that should just about complete everything. I think. I've been playing so much Minecraft today, I'm sort of losing my marbles a little bit. I don't know if you can tell. Yep, that is everything. That is everything done for the course. So if I just land up on top of one of these things, I'll quickly summarize what I've done in the past couple minutes because a lot has happened. So we've placed in, obviously, all of the dirt around the edges of the dirt. So I added that in to give it a little bit more depth. We've done a lot of the bone mealing, but actually there still needs to be some where the grass, where I was waiting on that spreading. We've lit up the entire place, so now no mobs should spawn. I've also placed sea lanterns on top of that tube because mobs were spawning on there. So that is now all done. We've done all of the bone mealing, so that's looking good. I've cleared out all of the red plants, so it's only yellow plants because yellow plants look cooler than the red ones. I've made sure that all of the terraforming is looking nice around all of these things, and I might do some extra touch-up details on it. We still need to wait for certain bits of very stubborn dirt to turn into grass. I might actually have to spread some grass through that to help that. And also, I think I might add a few more cobblestone bits and a few more leaf blocks. But once I've done that, I think I should play this thing. I mean, I need to test it in its final form. So let me just quickly do those details. I know this has been a little bit long-winded. It's been extremely long-winded for me. But let me just quickly do some of these details, and then we can actually get to playing this thing, finally. Now, I don't know if you saw, but during the time-lapse, I have been doing a little bit of practicing with this thing. So I'm hoping that now that I've learnt the course a little bit, I should be able to do just a tiny bit better than I was doing the other day. But it is incredibly difficult to do while you're speaking. I know that's crazy, but the speaking takes up a much larger part of your brain than you actually think. So if I go quiet during this, it's just because I'm really concentrating. But I'm going to try my best to put down a few little practice runs here. Oh gosh, that's not how to do it. Wow. See, I wasn't lying. Speaking takes up a lot of your brain power. All right, here goes. This should be a little bit better. So up like that, and then the power runs out. And then I drop through here. Man, I always get stuck there, and then I do something stupid like that. Back to the beginning. And go. All right, so we should have run out of firework rocket. You rely on running out of firework rocket there. Oh, no. Oh. I've missed one! And wow, okay, this is gonna be a real challenge for the hermits to do. This is gonna take quite a lot of practice. Okay. Up we go. That's it. That's it. That's a little bit more like it. That's good. Kind of. That wasn't a bad run. It was a little bit rough around the edges, but that was pretty good. My armor must be taking a beating here. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. I've actually run out of rockets, which gives me a good excuse to try out flight duration 1 and see if that's better than flight duration 3. I imagine it probably will be. Alright, let's go. Flight duration 1, 2 fires like that, and then you can drop in. Don't hit that. Why did my leech turn off? I tell you what, this is infuriating. This is genuinely infuriating. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's what we're looking for. No! Whoa. And on that though, ladies and gentlemen, because as you can hear, my brain is frazzled, I have been trying to complete this course for, yeah, I've gone through stacks of firework rockets. I'm going insane here. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to leave it for today, because otherwise I'm going to put my fist through my computer screen. I can feel that coming. This isn't officially open just yet. There's still a bunch of stuff that we need to do for the entrance. I'm still thinking about doing timing circuits. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But there's a bunch of other details I want to add in before I open this one to the public. But I'm really happy with how much progress we made in today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please press that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and latest film released just the other day. You should check it out. Link will be on the end screen. Bye-bye.